Skylar, can we go over the materials, and whatever materials you list off, I'll type it in the chat, and then maybe we'll give them like 1 minute to run around in case they forgot something.
Totally. Okay. So the most important thing is, if you don't know, we're making solar ovens. And some of you may have made this in the past at our camp or at school or somewhere else, but they're super, super cool. And so the first and most important ingredient or thing that we need is a box. It can be any box. A shoe box is the best kind of box, or like a little pizza box, not too, like it can't be like a giant pizza box, but like a regular medium-sized pizza box. I have this random like headphone box that opens kind of like a shoe box and a pizza box would. So I found this in my house and this is what we're using. But a box is the most important. Amazing. I see lots of you holding up boxes. And then the next thing that is the second most important would be tinfoil. Just any kind of tinfoil. You can have the ones that are sheets. I have the one that's like a big roll that I pull out. But tinfoil is the second most important thing. Awesome. I see all you guys holding your tinfoil. Great. Okay. And then the next most important thing would be black paper. I bet you guys have this in your house. Construction paper, black paper, anything that is dark and black in its paper. Okay? Awesome.
Now, if they don't have black, but they have like dark purple or dark gray, would that be okay?
Mm-hmm. It would be okay. Black is the best just because it's the darkest color that there is, because there's an absence of all colors. So when there is the black, it attracts the light. So that is the thing that conducts the heat inside of our solar ovens. But anything that's dark will work just as well too. Okay, the next thing that we're going to need is some cling film, or cellophane, or however you have this or say it in your house. It's like this stuff that is like clear and it's plastic. Awesome. And yeah, you'd use it to like kind of wrap up extra food that you may have or something like that. But that is our next most important thing. Awesome.
And Skylar, I learned a trick. If they don't have cellophane like that, they could also take a Ziploc bag and cut it open.
That is a good idea.
Like a big Ziploc bag.
Yeah, so if you don't have cellophane in your house, which maybe you don't, that's okay. Do what Ashley said and get a big Ziploc bag if you have one, and kind of cut it so that it's one open sheet of that clear plastic that we're looking for. Okay, and then the next thing that we're gonna need is scissors and tape. Scissors and tape, any kind of tape works. I have this tape. I also have like random Scotch tape, but we're gonna need both of these for cutting and for taping. And then the last thing, which isn't the most important, so if you don't have one, it's okay, but most everyone should have it in their house, is an empty little paper towel holder. So it's one of those things that's like a tube that used to have paper towels in it, but it's empty now. So this is our next and last thing. And then you can also have random decorations if you want to decorate at the very end. You can put stickers on. If your box is like a colored, kind of like mine, you can put white paper over the entire outside of it, and then maybe write some instructions for yourself on it or something like that. So that's it.
Skylar, we have some questions.
Okay, what are the questions?
Emily Radis would like to know, how much black paper do they need?
So I have 2 sheets. This should be enough. If you just have one, that's okay, but 2 is probably better in case you mess up and need to use more. But yeah, just 1, maybe 2. Do we have any more questions?
Yes. Savannah, what if you don't have the paper towel holder?
That's okay. If you have like a big long stick, maybe like a skewer, something that will kind of be able to prop up the back of your box like this.
Oh, maybe like some straws or chopsticks.
Yeah, chopsticks. Anything that's tall and like a stick would be the like best like thing to help prop it up. This is just, I feel like, super sturdy, which is why I thought that everyone might have this in their house. You know, it's something you might normally throw away, but we can repurpose it. So
yeah. Hold on, we have a lot of hands up. Hold on.
Okay.
You could also use like a ruler. That would work.
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay, Olive, what's your question?
Do you can you use like could you tape 2 toilet paper rolls together?
Oh yeah, totally. That would be totally fine. That would be great. Good idea.
Good idea.
Any other questions?
Like literally 5. Hold on.
Okay.
Madeline, go ahead.
I have a black shoebox.
Oh, great. Awesome. I
No
love
problem.
that. Is it black on the inside too?
It's like it looks like cardboard.
Okay, so you're still gonna need black paper, but it's cool that it's black on the outside. That'll conduct a lot of heat as well.
Okay, Shar, unmute. Go ahead, Shar. It says Shar with a little unicorn. Did you have a question?
Yeah, what if you don't have black paper?
Then I would say use dark paper, or if at the end you can take maybe a Sharpie and color in the bottom, or a black marker and color in the bottom, as long as the underneath. So essentially what we're going to do with the black paper, I would get to this later, but we have a question now. So we're going to take it and we're going to tape it to the inside of the box like this. And so it's going to be what we're going to put our food on, and then that's what's going to be conducting the heat inside the box, and then it's going to be reflecting from the tin foil. So if you don't have paper, then in the end you can color it. Might take a while, but that's totally fine too. So yeah. Any other questions?
That's a good idea. They could paint it or marker it too. Yeah, we have a few more questions. Olin and
yeah,
Elisa,
as long as if you do the coloring or painting or anything like that, make sure that if you put the food in there, that it's on a paper plate or something, or a napkin, just because you don't want to have that Sharpie or marker or paint touching directly your food while it's going to be cooking or heating up, because that would be yucky.
Olin and Elisa, did you have a question?
Yeah. What if? Well, we were thinking, like, what if you just added 3 toilet paper rolls?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea too. If you can stack them up, that's great. Anything that would really be a support for the back of the lid.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be round like that. That's why we were saying you could also use like a ruler, or even if you have another piece of cardboard that you cut into a long shape. Let's see who else. Hold on.
Milo, I see your shirt. It's really cool. I see you. I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt too.
Okay, Savannah, do you have another question? Go ahead, Savvy.
We don't really have anything to prop it up. We don't have anything to prop it up.
You don't have anything? Do you have a ruler? Do you have a straw? Do you have a chopstick? Okay.
Ruler.
Yeah, and also, does it have to have a lid? Like ours is like
it doesn't have to have a lid, but so what we're going to use the lid for, you have a box like that. Awesome. Because I was going to tell you guys how to do those boxes. We just essentially need one side to be able to prop up, because what we're going to do is put tin foil here, and then when we put our boxes outside in the sun, because it's super sunny right now, is the sun's going to reflect off the tin foil, go onto our food and our black paper, and it's going to create it get really hot to melt whatever we're cooking. So,
okay.
Yeah. But I'll tell you how to do it with your box too.
You're so welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. Okay, last question, and then we're going to start. Mara and Jaden, go ahead.
I only have 1 toilet paper roll.
Oh, that's okay. You can still use that. It should be able to go on just the very bottom of your box then. See, like, say if mine was shorter, it could go on the bottom. That's fine. Okay, was that the last question? We're good? Okay, because I feel like a lot of you guys
have one more. Wait, we have one more.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We have one more. It says Lisa Thomas, but I don't think that's your name. What's your name again?
Elijah.
Hi, Elijah. What's your question?
I saw one of these activities before on YouTube.
Cool.
Awesome.
A comment.
You get to you get to be a YouTuber right now and make one on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready to go, Elijah?
Okay.
Thumbs up. Okay.
I
do
think we're
this.
ready. I think we've asked lots of questions. If you guys have
Mhm.
questions that arise while we're making it, feel free to type them or raise your hand. But I feel like we might answer them along the way. So try and hold on to them as best as you can. Okay, so our first step is going to be to take our box. And then so if you have a box that has 4 like little things that go up, like the flaps that open up, what I'm going to say is tuck in 3 of them. So you only have 1 at the top that is sticking up like this. So I saw it was.
I have one of those boxes. I'm gonna go get it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna do what you're saying because I see that your box is different than that.
My box is different. I didn't have one of these boxes. I just had what I had in my house.
Like this
But I
kind?
see a few of you have it. Yes, just like that.
Okay. All right, I'm getting it. So I just tuck 3 sides down, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
One,
So and you put the sides on the
2,
inside of the box.
3, like that.
Perfect. Does
Okay.
everyone see what Ashley just did if they have the same kind of box as her? So she now only has 1 flap sticking straight up. But if you have a box like this, or if you have a shoe box where you can kind of position it so that only one side will stick up, like a pizza box or something like that, that would be great too.
Perfect. So for that kind, for yours where it's already attached, that's real easy. You just open it.
Yeah. So
For
this, if you
kind,
have a box like mine,
You just bend
this
it.
is you got to make sure it's bending.
Mhm.
And you got to make sure, or if you have like a shoe box, make sure that it can tuck underneath and be like a straight up side.
Now question, what if you have a box that the
Yes.
lid is not attached? Like a shoe box where the box is over here and the lid is over here. Should I
Okay,
go get
so
one?
pretend that this is my lid to my shoebox, and pretend I don't have the flap right there, and there's the little hooks on the side. What you're gonna do is it should be able to go on the side like this, and you should be able to keep it flat, and it should stay straight up like this if you have a shoebox that has a lid that is not attached.
Okay, I'm gonna go get one. So then I can put it
Okay.
in. I have a lot of boxes in my house, you know.
You do.
Piper would like to know, can you cut the 3 flaps or should you just bend it?
I mean, you can cut them. I would just recommend maybe an adult might do that in your house, just because that's cutting cardboard is really, really hard, and I don't want you to hurt yourself or I don't know anything. So maybe ask an adult if you do want it to be cut. Use really big scissors. But tucking it in, it will create the same exact effect. Okay. So everyone hold up their box if they have it tucked in, or if it's just one like mine that already has a lid, just like this. Awesome. Great. I see so many boxes. Amazing.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. And if you,
So
okay.
if I have this kind,
Mhm.
what do I do if I have this kind?
So you're basically
I just put it,
just going to take the lid and put it to the side like this. So it's up and down, but to the short side.
uh-huh.
So it's like
So
sticking
like
on the back,
this?
just like that. Up and down.
Oh.
Up and down.
Oh, like this?
Like that, exactly. So if you have a box just like Ashley's, because Ashley has so many boxes, you're going to want to stick the lid on the side, and it should hook right on there. You might not even need anything to have it stand up straight, and it should create a little wall and a barrier right there.
Yeah, and you could even put like a little piece of tape on the bottom to help support
to make
it.
sure your lid stays where it is.
The kid that told us that she had a shoebox, this would be the kind I think she had.
Okay.
So it was really easy. I just took the lid and I put the short end and the short end together, and that was it. You want to see something funny, Skylar?
Yes.
The top of this box, this was one from when we did our mazes.
Amazing.
Were you guys there?
I love
Were you guys there for our mazes? It's still on my shoebox.
Okay. So hopefully everyone has their box ready. Are we ready to move on to the next step? I think so. Okay.
Let's
So what you're going to do is
Thumbs
you're going
up.
to take your
Thumbs
black,
up if you're ready.
thumbs up if you're ready. And hold up your black piece of paper if you're ready as well, because this is going to be our next step. Thumbs up. Okay. Awesome. What you're going to do is hold your black piece of paper up to your box. And you're going to see around about where it would go and where you need to cut it so that it can slide in perfectly. So for my box, just like this, It's cut already so that it can fit in long ways, so I don't have to do that, but I have some extra over here. So I'm just gonna look and see, I need to cut about like 1.5 inches. I'm just gonna cut. It doesn't need to be perfect. If there's some spots where it doesn't fit perfectly, that's totally okay. But so here, I cut my piece of paper just by looking at where it would go in, and I'm just sticking it in the bottom, just like that. And see, look, it doesn't fit perfect. It's totally okay. It can fold up a little bit on the sides, and it can show a little bit of the underneath of the box, but in general, it should be black. Just like, it's bubbling up. We're gonna need to tape it. Just like this. See, just a little black piece of paper inside. Or any dark like color that you have. Dark purple, dark blue. Black is best, but whatever. Okay. And then once you have it in there, maybe
I think, Skylar, if they have a lighter piece of paper, it'll still work. It'll probably just take longer for the stuff.
Yeah, it might just take just a little bit longer. You can tape it in too. I'm going to take a little piece of tape just to make sure it stays where it's supposed to. And I'm just going to tape it in on 2 sides. I'm not going to do all 4. Just the little pieces of tape, just like that. So see, I put a piece of tape right here and right there. So now it's going to stay in just like that. See? Okay. We'll give you guys a minute just to finish that up. It should be pretty quick though, because we're just putting a little black piece of paper in our box. Awesome. I see you guys working real hard. So good. And if it bubbles, if it doesn't fit perfectly and it kind of bubbles up inside, cut just a tiny bit more, maybe off both sides of the paper. So it just gets a little bit more smaller so it can fit better in the space.
Perfect. That makes total sense.
Awesome. I see we're doing it. We're totally doing it. We're going to make little solar ovens. This is going to be amazing.
While we're creating these ovens today, I have a question for everybody to kind of think about as we're going. You don't have to answer me right now, but if we do one more big final 8th week of camp, like normal camp, if there's any classes that we haven't done yet that you would like, that you think would be fun, or if there's something we've done that you would like us to do again, type it in the chat box and let us know. What sort of things do you love to do that we can provide for you? Olive would like to know, do I have to cover the outside lid too? No, just the bottom.
No, we're not going to do that. Just the inside and just the bottom. You don't have to cover the sides of the inside. You don't have to cover the top, not anything like that. Just the bottom, just the inside and the bottom. That should be pretty quick. Hold up your box and show me your bottom is covered when you're ready to move on. Awesome. Great. A couple of us are still working. Okay, I'll give us 1 more minute. Hurry up this step pretty quick. It should have been pretty quick. And then we'll move on to our next step. Awesome. Okay, I see lots of boxes. Give me some thumbs up when we're ready to move on. Give me 2 thumbs up from everyone. Okay. I see most of us are ready. If we're not, just listen. You turn your listening ears on and then use your ears to listen to what I'm saying and then continue working, and you should be able to catch up because this step is super similar. We're going to take our tin foil, and if you have rolls like this, tear off a little piece, just like that. I tore off 1 little piece. And then what we're going to do with the tin foil is we're now going to put it on the inside, but the sides that don't have the construction paper, the black paper. We're going to put it right here on this side, on this side, on the top side, and on the bottom side. Just like that. So here, I took 1 sheet.
So on
what I'm going to do
on the 4 wall.
Super easy. On the 4 walls. Oh, you're going to want to make sure too. There's one side of your tin foil that is super shiny, more shiny than the other side. And then there's another side, just like this. It's a little bit more flat. I don't think you can tell in my screen, but you might be able to tell on your tinfoil. Look and see it, shine it in the light. You'll be able to tell which one is more shiny. You want to put the shiny side on the outside so that you can see the shiny side when you put it in your box. So I'm gonna put my tinfoil in, shiny side in, or shiny side out so I can see it. And I'm just gonna tuck it in on the sides. Hold it over on the outside, just like that. You can use tape here too. Tape would be a really good tool to help it stay where it's supposed to. But essentially, all your sides should be covered just like this, okay? I'm gonna do my next side. This is easier than the paper because it just molds and it crumples, and I love tinfoil because you don't have to do that much work to make it stay where it's supposed to. I'm gonna do,
Yeah, and if you
make
rip
sure
it like a
every
little bit,
time
it
you get
doesn't
a new,
really even matter.
yeah, it doesn't even matter because, you know, it's so easy to crumple a little bit and fix it. Every single time. So I got one piece and I put on one side. I'm getting the second piece and I'm going to put it on my second side. Every single time, if you get a new piece of tinfoil, make sure it's the shiny side. So I'm going to make sure this is my shiny side, that it's pointing outward so I can see it when I put it in. I'm going to put it on my next side, just like this. Crumpling it
I have
in.
a question. Hey, Tara. Hi.
Hey,
Do you have
so
a
is
question?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so is the tinfoil supposed to be both on the inside side and the outside side, or just the inside side?
So just the inside side, but I'm kind of curling it around the outside because it doesn't really matter if it's on the outside. It won't affect it either way, but it's easier to get it to stay on the box.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
okay, because I didn't, yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I looked like you were doing that, but right. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be, but I'm just curling it around so that I can grab on to something easier. Or you could just cut it, make sure it's like perfect on the inside and tape it if you wanted to do that. But either way, it doesn't affect it. So that's just what I chose.
Now, Skyler, what do you do? The fourth wall that you haven't done yet, do you have to go all the way up the lid? How does that work?
Yeah, so we're gonna get there. So I still have done my two outside sides. And I'm gonna do my bottom side right now. And then once you get to this side, if you're ahead of me, what you're going to want to do is to take a full sheet and you're gonna line the whole top side of whichever flap you've chosen. So if you had a box like the ones that are like 4 and then you tucked them in, you tucked 3 of the sides in, and you had one side pointing up, make sure that you cover the whole top of your flap that's pointing up. Or if you had the shoe box and you tucked it under and you had that full wall, make sure you cover the whole side of the wall or the side of the box that you have that is kind of open and free, or a lid. So I'll do that right now.
I'm starting to get it. It's coming together in my brain. So the food goes on the black paper because the dark color is going to hold the heat. But the tin foil goes all the way around and kind of on top, that's going to bounce the sunlight all around to warm it up. Aha.
Yeah. So if you guys have ever been if you have a car, if your mom or dad or whoever you live with or takes care of you has a car, you've been in a babysitter's car, and if they have the black on the inside of their car and you get in the car and it's been really, really hot outside, that black, because it is a conductor of heat, which essentially means that it makes it or keeps the heat inside and doesn't release it, then that is what makes it hot. So that's what the black paper does. Our black paper is our conductor of heat. And our tin foil, which I'm going to tape on the top of my box right now, is what reflects the sunlight to make the black paper get hot. So I'm taking some tape.
Oh.
And I'm taping my tin foil to that flap on the box that I have. And so it just pops up just like this. And see, it makes this whole reflective screen almost like a mirror. And then this is what's going to bounce the sunlight down into our food where it's going to be. I got to do one more side.
perfect, you guys. I see you're holding them up. They look great. Good job, Savannah.
Thank you guys. You're doing so awesome. Okay.
Good job, everybody.
Final side. Hopefully you guys are right along with me. If it doesn't make sense, let me see.
They're doing great. I'm watching everybody. They're cutting the tin foil. They're figuring it out. They're doing great.
If you need to tape some sides down, if you feel like it's a little not too secure, just grab a piece of tape, stick it under there. You can do that little trick where if you kind of roll the tape over on itself and stick it to itself, then it becomes double-sided tape. You can do that to really stick it on there super good. So this is what I am currently left with, is I have all 4 sides of the inside of my box covered. And then I also have my free flap lid side, whatever you want to say, covered in tinfoil as well. So this is where we are right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give them a few minutes because a lot of them are still busy working. And then we'll move on to the next step.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. You guys are doing so awesome. It's going to be so cool. And so while you guys are working, I'll tell you what you can put in there. You can put anything essentially that is like a melty food. So s'mores is a really good option if you have graham crackers, chocolate, and some marshmallows. That'll be super yummy. It won't get kind of toasted like it would if you put it over a fireplace or anything like that, but it'll get melty and gooey and yummy. Or if you have a tortilla and some cheese and 2 tortillas, you can put like a tortilla, cheese, and another tortilla, and you could melt the cheese and make it like a quesadilla. Or Ashley, what were some other things that we came up with?
Nachos.
Oh, right, the nachos. You can get some chips, and then you can put some cheese on the chips.
Sprinkle some cheese.
And then the cheese will melt. Anything really that's like a melty food is something cool to put in here. Not anything that you would need to cook in the oven. So nothing like meat or any raw, like dough.
Yeah, nothing with eggs. Hold on, Devin has her hand up. Let's see.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Put like ice cream in the.
If you put ice cream in there?
Soup ice cream.
No.
Do you like ice cream soup?
It would turn into soup. You gotta put ice cream in the freezer.
I mean, if you like ice cream soup, I don't know if I would. I like my ice cream cold.
She's so funny. I'm gonna Google other things you can put in a.
But if you guys have any ideas of something that's like a melty food, kind of along the lines of nachos, a quesadilla, s'mores, anything like that, type it in the chat and give some friends some ideas. But you can literally cook that in here, which is super, super cool. Because of the heat that we're gonna conduct.
You can also take foods that have already been cooked and use it to warm them up. So you could take like a cold piece of pizza from the refrigerator and put it on there and it'll warm it up for you.
Oh yeah, that's such a good idea. Okay, so I'm still here. I added a little bit more tin foil to make this kind of fully covered, just like this. And then again, I have all 4 of my sides covered in the tin foil. Give me some thumbs up if you're ready to move on. It's no pressure. I know this is a tricky step, but give me some thumbs up if you're ready. Oh, thumbs down. I'm getting some thumbs down.
Yeah, and some of these. Okay, no problem. We'll give you a minute.
Okay. Don't worry. Yeah.
No worries. I'm looking. I thought of another thing you could put in there.
What can we put in?
A piece of bread and put a little butter on it and sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar and put it outside and it would get all melty and yummy.
Yum. It'd be like a cinnamon toast bread.
Yeah, like kind of like a French toast, but not really.
Yeah, like almost a cinnamon roll, but a little bit different.
Or when you were talking about making s'mores, you said graham crackers, chocolate, and marshmallow, but the marshmallow won't get toasty. Even if you just do graham cracker and chocolate and it gets melty, that'd be so good. I love s'mores. Reminds me of summer.
Yeah, it's a summer food. Go out and have the summer fire.
And the ice cream that I would not put in there.
I I mean, if you like ice cream soup, I'm not one that likes ice cream soup. I eat my ice cream traditionally.
Me too.
Okay. It looks like we're still focused and working. If you are ready though, hold up your little tinfoil box, just like this. Just tilt it up so I can see all the sides. Oh, awesome. Oh, wow. It's going so great.
These look great, you guys. Good job.
Looks amazing. Amazing.
Perfect. Good job, Blake, Isabel, and Jonathan. Good job. Good job, everybody. These look awesome.
Okay.
Cooper says a croissant. So it won't bake it. Like you can't put out croissant batter and it'll bake it. But you could take a croissant, put it in the box, and it'll get nice and warm and yummy and delicious.
The outside does not need to be wrapped in tinfoil, just the inside. It's kind of it's what's going to be able to reflect onto the food. So unless there's no food going to be on the outside, a croissant, it could warm it up. If you had an already cooked croissant and you put some like butter in it, that would be super yummy. But it won't cook it naturally. Like it won't be like if you put, say, like the Pillsbury crescent rolls in the oven. It's not the same thing as that. It's a little bit different. Just because it doesn't get as hot, because it's not going to be like 350 degrees outside. So it can't be that hot in our little solar ovens because we're taking the heat from the outside. Can you do a quesadilla? Yes, a quesadilla would be so perfect. It would be so yummy because that's all you do is like you just melt the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me some thumbs up if we're ready to move on to our next step. Oh, okay, still some thumbs down. But I do see some thumbs up. Okay, we're getting there. I'll give another couple minutes and then we'll move on to our next step really, really quick. So we get unhappy sometimes when I say the whole
I know.
Don't worry. I'll give you more time. It's okay. This is the first project that I've done that I've had so many questions. Yeah.
We love the questions.
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody has one. Nope, no hands in there. I think they're just working.
They're just hanging. I see some working and I also see some ready to go.
Let's check in with some of the friends. If you're done and you want to show everyone, raise your hand. Okay, Madeline, you want to show us? Madeline, you got to talk. Say, this is what I made. Good job.
Wow, that was great.
It looks great. Perfect. Good job.
There's really no way to do this wrong either. As long as you cover everything in tinfoil and then you put the black paper on the bottom, there's not really any way to mess it up, which I think that is super cool as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I see some thumbs up. Are we ready possibly to move on?
I think we can. And if they're not ready, they'll just go at their own pace.
Okay. All right. So we think we're ready just for next step? Okay. So if you have a box like mine and it kind of doesn't stay up on its own and it's kind of free flapping up and down, then what you're going to want to do is use your little either toilet paper roll, ruler, chopstick, anything you have that is kind of like a straight up and down and then also can be sturdy to hold your box straight up is what you're going to do. Is for me, I have this toilet paper or this paper towel roll, and you're going to kind of find where the bottom of the box and the bottom of the roll or whatever you're using aligns. So I found that it's about right here. So just so when I tape it together, I know that it's going to stay up because it has that support of the ground or the table or whatever it's on. So I'm going to take a piece of tape. So make sure you have your tape for this step. And what I'm going to do is if you were in my robots class, we did this before. So I'm going to take the tape and I'm going to go on the inside of the toilet paper roll, or the paper towel roll, I mean, sorry. And I'm gonna tape it just like that. So it's taped literally from the inside of the paper towel roll to the outside of the box, just like that. And then so now the bottom right here can stand up and support my lid. And so now you see how it was flapping open and closed before? Now, let me move my stuff. It stays completely open. It's already reflecting. It's already really, really blinding me right here. But so can we see that sturdiness that I created right there? And then you can also give some extra security once you have that little piece of tape at the top. And you can tape around the sides like this. Just like that.
And here's the thing, Skylar, every box is different and they all weigh a different amount. So they have to kind of be a little bit of an engineer, and they have to kind of figure out how to get it to stand up. And maybe they got a paper towel roll, but it's not strong enough. So maybe you have to go around your house and find something else. Or maybe you have to prop it up on going the other way, maybe from the inside. You just got to figure it out.
Any way that you can get it so that this side with the tinfoil on the full like side of the lid or the side of the box that you chose can reflect in and onto your black paper and your box right there with your black paper. That's just what we're aiming towards. And if it doesn't support it all the way, then find something else in your house. I bet you have a ruler, maybe some chopsticks, or maybe you need to do it from lower down so that it can really prop it up properly. Or,
let's see if anybody has questions. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have any questions? Are we having any struggles?
I think they're figuring it out.
Awesome.
Oh, Emily. Hey, Emily, what's up?
So how long does it take to cook in the solar at how many seconds?
That is a really good question.
What are you trying to make, Emily? What are you going to put in there?
S'mores.
S'mores. Let me Google it. It kind of depends on how hot and sunny it is outside. Today's a really hot day, but let me Google it for you. Hold on.
Another thing is when you're cooking in these, it is going to be different depending on the time of day, depending on how hot the sun is, depending on where you are positioned with the sun. So if the sun is facing away from the box and there's a shadow falling on your object, it's not going to cook it. So you need to make sure when it's outside that you face your tin foil so that the shadow is behind the box and not on the inside of the box, if that makes sense. And then you're also going to need to be really good at observing just how it looks. So say if you're doing s'mores, you can look and see kind of a little bit that the chocolate's a little bit melted or anything like that, but you can tell also a little bit that it's not cooked yet, maybe you need a little bit longer, and it's also about your personal preference. Do you want it more melted? Do you want it more not melted? But yeah.
Well, and Skylar, the other thing is, it's going to take minutes, not seconds. It's going to take a while because like we were talking about, when you put it in the oven goes up to like 300 degrees. Outside, even on a super hot day, it's like maybe 100 degrees. So I would say maybe put it out there and every 10 or 15 minutes, go check on it. We have a question. When you make the things, do you put them on right on the black paper or on a little plate or napkin?
I would put it on like maybe a paper towel. Don't put it on so big of a plate that it kind of covers the black paper. I would kind of maybe fold the paper towel to be as small as the object or whatever you're cooking itself is, if that makes sense. But if you didn't have that paper, like we talked about in the beginning, and you used maybe marker or paint in the end to get that black bottom, please use a plate. Don't use just paper towel. Use a plate and a paper towel. But a paper towel should be as good, just because it's paper, it's clean, it's not like it's, you know, you're putting it on the ground outside. But you do make sure to have that clean protection. S'mores should take like 30 minutes. Good, amazing Googling. Okay, so does everyone have a way to stand up their box like this? Did we figure it out? Give some thumbs up. Awesome. Awesome. Great. If you didn't, this is an easy step for you to do on your own or kind of catch up and do it by yourself. But I think I'm going to move on to just our next and final step. Are we ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get our last thing that we needed, which is our cling film. And this is something that we might need to redo. And so we can't necessarily use it forever. For some of the solar ovens I saw, they would cut holes in the cardboard and do stuff like that, but I knew that you guys were home and maybe your parents just wanted to put you and have you do it yourself. So I found an easier way to do it so we don't necessarily have to cut open cardboard and make holes and do all this stuff. And it's basically going to be, once you put your food in here and you have it ready to cook, put cling film over it. Cool. A little thing. So what that means is when you get or your cut up plastic bag. So you're gonna take a little piece of it. Mine cuts like this. Be really careful if you're cutting this yourself. I don't want you to cut your fingers or anything. This might be something that you do need an adult's help with. And you're just gonna basically put the cling film over where the food goes, just like this. Almost like you're wrapping up leftovers, but it's your box, just like this. So you see I have that layer of cling film over where the inside of my box is. And this is basically just gonna give another level of that conductive energy, and it's gonna keep the heat inside the box instead of letting it escape. So just like that.
Got it. So the food goes inside and then the plastic goes over.
Yeah, so if you wanna put it on now, and then you can just lift it up, peel it up, put the food in, cook it, and then, or to get ready to cook it, and then just cover it, just like that. If you want to get creative, I bet you can come up with a way to maybe position some pieces of maybe straws around the edge, or maybe popsicle sticks, so that you can reuse the same piece of cling film over and over. But again, you can reuse, or you can use a new one if you wanted to every single time. But this is just basically what's going to reflect off of this, and it's going to go inside the box, and that black paper is going to be that conductive heat source, and so then it's going to stay inside and it's going to be trapped with the cling film. So this is a very important step to make sure that it continues to cook and stays hot or warm or whatever you're trying to melt. A question. We have a question, it looks like, from Elijah.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
Oh, I see a few questions, sorry.
Okay.
Hi, Elijah, what's up?
If we don't have the plastic wrap, what can we use?
If you have a plastic bag in your house, maybe like a Ziploc or anything like that, and you can cut it so that there is only one strip, and then you can put that over the top, that would be a good option. Yeah.
You have a Ziploc bag?
You have a Ziploc?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Cut
So,
it
yeah.
open.
Yeah, so just cut it, cut the sides, and then so you have one sheet of plastic. Maybe you'll need to use 2 Ziploc bags, but that's okay. Do we have any other questions?
Savvy and Madsy, go ahead.
Does it have to be the plastic wrap? Does it have to be tight on the top?
It doesn't have to be tight, as long as it's kind of trapping in any air that's in there. And then now that you guys are done with this too, you can decorate the box. I think it'd be super cute if you put stickers around the outside, or if you covered up maybe the tinfoil on the outside with some white paper, anything. You can get super creative here, and then so it can be super cute and something that you like to look at in your room, and then you can pull it out whenever you want to have a little snack of something.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Madeline, did you have a question?
Yes.
What's up?
What if an animal tries to get our s'mores?
Oh, what kind of animal were you thinking, Madeline?
Squirrels or type of bird or something.
Yeah, maybe just keep your eyes on it.
Yeah, maybe keep it in a good spot where no squirrels or birds can get at it. Maybe stay outside near it. Maybe put it on a table.
I have a table outside.
Yeah, maybe put it on a table outside, somewhere that's still in the sun, though. But hopefully it should be safe from squirrels and birds.
Yeah, but hey, they got to eat too, so you know it might happen, and then you could maybe just do it again. Let's see if anybody else has a question. Olive, go ahead.
Do you how many paper towel rolls do you put on your box? Like 2 or 1?
I only did 1. So basically what we used the paper towel roll is to have this little support so that the box stays open. So as you see, it can close like this, and I can reclose it if I wanted to like store it, put it in my closet or whatever. But when I wanted to pull out and use it, I prop it up, and the paper towel roll is just that little thing that is keeping it held up. The lid can stay open so that the reflective side can still project onto the box or to the inside of the box.
Thank you.
Milo, do you have a question? What's up?
What if when the paper towel roll is on and you open it but then it closes again, because that's what happens to mine.
Oh, well then maybe what I would do is put a little piece of tape at the bottom right here to kind of tape the bottom on to the actual top. So that's here, look, I'll show you. So if you're having trouble with your box staying open and you don't necessarily need it to be closed, what I would do is take a piece of tape, put it on the inside of the paper towel roll, and then connect it to the bottom of the box, just like that. And then so that literally it can't close. It kind of forced it to stay open. Or maybe your lid's a little too heavy and you might need to find something sturdier in your house, maybe like a chopstick or a ruler, something that's really, really strong and sturdy.
Sound good, Milo?
Sound good, bud?
Okay.
Any more questions?
Oh, yes, hold on. Allen and Lisa, go ahead.
We have a question of how does that the plastic thingy stick to the box?
So the plastic wrap, it doesn't need to stick. I just laid it on top, if you can tell, just like that. I made it big enough so that it can kind of flay over, kind of like a blanket almost, the sides, just like this. And then you can peel it up, but it's not super tight. And gravity and like the fact that it's a little bit sticky and clingy should keep it on where it's supposed to be.
You could also tape it if you wanted to, like maybe if it's windy at your house and you're concerned, you could put a little piece of tape.
Totally, yeah.
Let's see, hold on. Hi, Tara. Hi.
Where that plastic goes again, can you hold it up?
Oh yeah, sure. So it's just over the inside of the box, just like that.
So, it's
and then you can redo it. So here,
Yeah.
peel it up just like this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's literally just a layer on the top part. So your food goes in it and then it's got a little covering on top.
Yeah, almost like it is like a Tupperware itself that you would put the plastic over. You're just going to do it just like that. And again, it's just that layer to keep in the heat where it needs to be kept, to keep the food from, yeah.
If it's just laying on top, as soon as you put the food on it, gravity will take it down.
No. So what you're going to do is the food goes inside, just like this. You put the food in here, just like that, on the paper towel or just straight on the paper if you wanted to, and then you recover it just like that. And then you wait, and then the time, 30 minutes or whatever goes by, and you go back out and you're ready to get it, and you peel it up, take the food out, and then you can recover it just like that. And if you need to, you can use a second cling wrap in the future, but one should be enough for at least one time. So yeah.
No problem. Let's see if we have any more questions. I think we're good.
Okay. And again, you guys
ready?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up if we're doing good.
You guys can try whatever you want. Again, our suggestions were to maybe do s'mores, nachos, quesadilla, anything that's kind of melty, or you can use it to heat something up that has been previously made cold, like in the fridge. But so just a reminder, when you put your box outside, you want to make sure that the sun is facing the box. You don't want it like the sun's over here behind the box. You want it over here. So you got to look up in the sky and see where the sun is coming from. Another key to look at where your shadow from your body falls, and make sure that you put it so that the shadow of the box falls behind it and not over your food. if that makes sense. And then so you're gonna make sure that this is super reflective and it's shining, 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 and it's creating lots of heat and it's bouncing into your box and it's heating up whatever's in there. Make sense? Yeah? Okay.
Totally makes sense.
And you can decorate it. Make them super cute. Make them super cute and then email a picture to Ashley of what you ended up with your box looking like, because they can be so cute and cool. This is just the base of how to make it, but you can make it your own. So.
Yeah, I just typed my name into my email into the chat so that they can like go cook their s'mores or whatever. And then when it's done, they can have their moms or dads or whoever take a picture of their s'mores so that we know that it worked. Because yes, this was an art project. It was a craft, but it's also a science experiment. We're really trying to see if the sun is warm enough to cook food. So you have to let us know if it works for you or not. Olive. Hey, Olive. Go ahead, hun.
I put mine outside and it had nachos in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Delicious. Delicious.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, anything that they need to say really quick?
Wait, Tara says, will we need pepper? What are you cooking?
Well, no,
What are you making?
it said on here that you need pepper,
Oh,
black pepper.
oh, it must have been a mistake.
That's it.
It must have been from last week or a mistake.
No
But
problem.
maybe if you make some nachos, put a little salt and pepper on there. Okay, last one. Olin and Elisa. Yes, my loves. Go ahead.
Good activity choosing.
This was a fun one, right? Skylar's awesome. I'm
Oh,
so
thank you.
glad you joined us. Hold on one second. Oh, so sweet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
What? You're muted. And we're unmuted.
Unmute. Hi.
Why don't you get all
Hi.
Bye.
Can you